Thank you, good morning, and welcome. We're so glad you are here. I invite you to stand as you are comfortably willing and able, turning in our gray hymnal to our music for gathering, hymn number 66 in the gray hymnal, When the Summer Sun is Shining, number 66.
Theresa, I'm the Minister of Pastoral Care here at the First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ann Arbor. And welcome. We have been a presence here in the community since 1865. We are glad that you are here, and it matters that you are here. A warm welcome to those online. If you'd like to take a second and introduce yourself in the chat, please do so. We would love it if you fill out a survey at UUAA.org/newcomer survey so we can better connect with you. And if you are here in person and have bravely chosen to attend for the first time, or if you're still quite new to us, right after the service, through those double doors and up a little ways and to the left in the Redmond room, there is a newcomer welcome. There will be someone there who can help answer your questions about Unitarian Universalism, answer questions about this congregation, and any questions you have about whether or not this might become your spiritual home. I am delighted to remind you that this coming Friday, May 16th, is Friday Fun Night. But it's not just any Friday Fun Night, it's karaoke night, back by popular demand. This happens between 5:30 and 8:30 p.m. There's going to be a cookout with all the usual cookout kinds of foods, hot dogs and hamburgers, but also vegan and gluten-free options, assorted picnic salads, but also some healthy things like fruit and greens, and dessert. There will be music-themed crafts, and then everyone will gather together to sing in the sanctuary. This is a family-friendly event. It's sponsored by the Music Ambassadors, many of whom I think are here right now. If you are a music ambassador, would you wave? Let folks know who you are. Yes, thank you for your organizing help. And If you can, get an RSVP in, so that helps with the planning. Now, whether you come there to sing or to listen, it's going to be a fun time. Speaking of singing, something you all do amazingly well and bravely every Sunday that we gather, I'm going to invite you to sing now, something from memory. Put down the hymnals. I can see your faces, do not panic. But I'm betting you know all the words and the tune of this next song. It's Happy Birthday. I told you, right? Not to panic. But it's not just any birthday. Whose birthday is it? Does anyone know? Ours. It's our birthday, absolutely. So we're going to sing, but you have to sing our entire name, right? So it's Happy Birthday to us, and then First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ann Arbor, all of that. Okay. All right, can anyone guess how old we are? If you were here in first service, you can't answer. How old are we? 160, yes. 1865 we were founded. Wonderful. Okay, Allison, Dusty, Bells, choir. All of you, let's sing. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, dear Universalist Congregation. Happy Thank you. We're in pretty good voice for being 160. Now, take a breath. I invite you all, and those online and those watching later in person, to come into this space and ready ourselves to receive the gifts of music, of words, of story, and of flowers, to receive them with open hearts and minds. Let us pause now to honor those who we call Mother on this day dedicated to mothers. I offer the words of the Reverend Dr. Mary Harrington in her Mother's Day prayer. We come together today in praise and thanksgiving for the gift of life itself. Someone gave birth to us, and some of us have given birth. All of us have been mothered in our time. All of us have mothered. Let our time today be one of recognition that we arrive from so many places: joy and delight, wistfulness and longing and worry, unmet needs and unfulfilled dreams, loss and sorrow, loss and emptiness, loss and regret. All that life is made of, mothers are made of too. Today we sing the songs of so many mothers who are single parents, foster parents, mothers who relinquished their young out of necessity, mothers who found their heart in adoption, mothers who left their children in 1,000 ways, mothers who rejoice, and mothers who mourn. We sing the songs of the grandmother, the auntie, the classroom teacher, the Sunday school teacher, the babysitter, the neighbor with endless cookies and time. There is a kind of love we cannot live without. It is never too late, no matter our age or situation. We sing a song of gratitude for all the moments of being known, being cherished, being found. It is a blessing that amongst this community we can recognize the multitude of ways people can mother, and we welcome all those who identify as a mother into this community just as you are. Right now, for just a moment, pause and imagine all of the humans who have mothered you. And now let us offer them our gratitude for doing the very hard work of mothering. May the universe grant all mothers rest. May they know that the work they do is holy work. We are gathered in community, and we are ready to worship together.
I am forever thinking about music, and this morning and this weekend I was thinking about this opening hymn that we've just sung, which begins, "When the summer sun is shining over golden land and sea, and the flowers in the hedgerow welcome butterfly and bee." Well, my little butterflies, I do hope you be feeling welcome. Pause for groan. Okay. But truly, we hope that you feel welcome in this space because after all, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, the flaming chalice, is a sign of welcome. It has been from the very start, first created in the Second World War as a symbol of refuge in a troubled world. Our chalice, like the summer or spring sun, continues to welcome home all seekers of truth, both here in Ann Arbor and, thanks to our live stream, via all over the world. Today, I would like to invite Priscilla Spencer and Rajiv Batra to join us on the chancel to light the chalice. As Rajiv and Priscilla light our chalice here in the sanctuary, we invite our online community to light a chalice of your own, perhaps sharing in the chat the chalice is lit and from where you're joining us today. Would you all please join me as we speak together our chalice lighting words? We light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. We light this chalice for the energy of action. We light this chalice for the harmony of peace. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, Rajiv. Now, after we've established that the light is glowing and we are basking in it in our opening hymn, it continues. Then my open heart is glowing, full of warmth for everyone, and I feel an inner beauty which reflects the summer sun. It's a beautiful text. But friends, what about the days when the sun doesn't come out for us? What about the days when the light of truth is hard to see, or when the warmth of love is hard to feel? Full of warmth for everyone is not how I feel every day. On my best days, sure. But everyone, every day, it's a tall order. Thankfully, this is why we have our covenants, to remind us that we are not required to think alike, to love alike, to remind us that we are committed to dwelling together in peace, and that we have committed to repair when things are broken. So let us join together in recommitting ourselves to the words of our covenant. The spirit of this church is love, and service is its law. This is our covenant with each other, to dwell together in peace, to search for truth in love, and to help one another.
My garden is a work in progress, at best. At worst, it's a mess. I've never been particularly good at it, nor have I been especially interested. But now that I'm the only one responsible for my home's landscaping, I've been forced to learn some things. And so, in true UU fashion, I checked out about a dozen gardening books from the library. What better way to learn about outdoorsy stuff than in my cozy indoor reading nook? With Gardening for Dummies now topping my bedside table book pile, I'm discovering something so interesting. There is no one right way to garden. Each of us gets to create the landscape of our own dreams. If only our world was more welcoming to all the ways we find and experience beauty. In our story for all ages this morning, we meet a girl who is determined to make that world a reality, who embraces her weirdness and individuality in the face of loud demands to conform. Millie Fleur's Poison Garden. Words and pictures by Christy Mandan. Garden Glen was a place of sameness. Welcome to Garden Glen, a picture-perfect place. Prim pastel houses, each one like the next, lined the streets of Garden Glen like candies in a box. Their windows were spotless, their hedges perfectly pruned, their shutters hung straight and true. Every house and yard in Garden Glen was flawless, with not a blade of grass out of place. Except for one tumble-down house on a scruffy hill at the edge of town. Rejected and excluded, it stood lifeless, with no one to love it. Until Millie Fleur LaFay came to town. Millie Fleur's new house was marvelous, but it was missing something. It didn't quite feel like home yet. "We can fix that," her mom said, pulling a surprise from her pocket. Seeds from Millie Fleur's old garden. She got straight to work. Millie Fleur's garden grew fast and wild. Fanged fairy moss, sore toothwort, glowing jack-in-the-bush, tentacled tansy, and grumpy gillyflower. Garden Glen's Rosebud Club was not happy about Millie Fleur's new garden. "It's odd," said a man in a rather common sports coat. "It's unruly," said a lady in a stiffly starched dress. "Appalling," bellowed Colonel Stick in the Mud. The president of the Rosebud Club was determined to root out Millie Fleur's garden. "This won't do. According to our rules, your garden is unacceptable. We simply cannot have this poisonous mess in our town." "But it's not poisonous," Millie Fleur scowled. "It's just not like yours." Millie Fleur didn't understand why the club was so upset about what she grew in her garden. "Your garden is different from anything they've seen before," her mother told her. "Some people are scared of things that are different." "Maybe I should plant a few roses?" Millie Fleur asked. "People here seem to like that sort of thing." "Only if roses make you happy," her mother said. That night, Millie Fleur couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned, thinking about her beloved sneezing sticky weed, her grumpy gillyflower, and her fanged fairy moss. They were curious little plants, and they made life interesting. She was proud of her wild, weird little garden. Maybe she would start a new club. The next morning, Millie Fleur got to work on a plan. She knew there must be someone who would appreciate what made her garden so special. She paid no attention to the disapproving notices posted at her gate as she made her way to school. "No carnivorous plants. Notice of violation. Mow it down. Neat and tidy lawns only. By order of the Rosebud Club. Final warning." Show and tell today. At recess, she invited her entire class to visit her garden. She wasn't sure anyone would come. But curiosity got the best of them. Even their teacher came to see what all the fuss was about. "Prepare to be amazed," Millie Fleur declared. "But please stay on the path. Some of the plants have teeth." As they made their way through the garden, they were astonished. Bone bloom, sneezing sticky weed, and a little grossed out witch's wart, and at times a little nervous, freaky freckled fig, curdled milkweed. But they all agreed. Millie Fleur's garden was wonderfully weird. Swampy inkcap, whopping wishflower, snake plant, ghost nettle, belching huckleberry, and yaga bush. Slowly but surely, bits of Millie Fleur's garden began to take root all over town. The first annual Garden Glen Youth Plant and Seed Swap. All varieties welcome. Some things stayed the same, but there was one thing for sure. Garden Glen was forever transformed by Millie Fleur's strange and magnificent garden. Though the windows were still spotless and the shutters still hung straight, the yards that were once identical now sprouted unique personalities, making Garden Glen a truly one-of-a-kind place. The end. Our story today offers many lessons about radical welcome, about diversity, about being true to yourself, about the very nature of beauty. And it also offers a lovely example of how important it is for children to have loving and supportive adults in their lives, especially parents. Millie's mother is the unsung hero of the story, quietly but consistently offering her child encouragement and affirmation, even as she faces fierce resistance. She brings the seeds from their old house for Millie to plant. She patiently explains why people are afraid of what they've never seen before. And best of all, when Millie wonders if she should plant some roses to appease Garden Glen's angry residents, her mother says simply, "Only if roses make you happy." She reminds Millie that she doesn't have to compromise her authentic self to accommodate or appease the discomfort of others. And she gently steps back and lets Millie advocate for her right to be included and embraced. With her mother's unconditional love, Millie Fleur bravely confronts her neighbors and transforms Garden Glen into a nurturing and welcoming place. A mother's love is a powerful force.
Take me so
That was phenomenal. I am speechless. Well, not really, but thank you for that gift. We are a garden, an ecosystem, a beloved community. Into this sacred space, we bring our histories, our memories, our struggles and our triumphs, our great loves and our great heartbreaks. And today, we bring our flowers. All of us have a role to play in making this congregation the force for peace and justice that it has been and will continue to be for another 160 years with your support. One of the ways you can help us side with love in all the amazing things that we do is through the spiritual practice of our offering. There are many ways to give. The ushers will pass collection baskets, and you're welcome to offer cash or checks. And you can also text UUAA to 73256, or you can go to uuaa.org/giving. Today's offering will now be given and gratefully received. I'd love to invite the ushers to come forward, and as they do, I invite you to rise in body or spirit wherever you may be as you are comfortably able, and say with me the words of dedication. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Thank you.
Soon, this table in front of us will be overflowing with your floral offerings. But first, we're going to add a few flowers. Stella has some helpers here. We're going to add a few vases that are flowers from our gardens on the land around this building. Now, the land around this building is lovingly tended to by many of you. You are volunteers who care deeply about our home. And I'd like us to recognize and remember that our home is on land that is not our own, but rather the ancestral home of the native people of the Anishinaabe tribes, the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi. So thank you for adding those as a reminder of our land here. Now, our table will be a place to gather the individual flowers that you have each brought with you, or maybe you picked one up on the way in. And if you missed getting one, you can raise your hand or wave, and the ushers will bring by a stem for you to get. So if you need one, let us know. If you are watching at home, I hope you have some kind of flower or plant nearby so that you can use that in our blessing a little bit later. Now, the first flower communion happened just over 100 years ago. It was created by the Unitarian minister, Reverend Norbert Čepek, for his congregation in Czechoslovakia. He asked people to bring a flower to worship one Sunday. He wanted to do something that would involve the congregants and convey the idea of community by visually creating one large bouquet representing the coming together of many individual parts into a unified and beautiful whole. Now, in this congregation, water communion happens in early September for our ingathering. You each bring some water to add to a communal bowl, and we celebrate the start of a church year and being back in community and how we are stronger when we are all gathered together. Likewise, in dirt communion, the ritual we did just last month, you each added dirt to some communal pots in which flowers will be planted. And through that, we remember how we are connected to the earth, to the trees, to the birds and animals, and all living and growing species on the earth. And today, we will complete the circle, if you will, with our flower communion. As the church year comes to a close, just as it was for Reverend Čepek, we too do this visually to remind ourselves of the beautiful and diverse community. So, in a moment, I will invite you to come up to the front at your own pace, and you can add your flower to the vases on the table. If you have something to add, but mobility is a concern, again, kind of wave, and we'll try to help you out and get the flowers from you. Okay? So let us begin. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness, it smells amazing too if you get close by. When Reverend Chapek did the first flower communion, he offered a blessing for the flowers. And I think we should do the same. So if you think for a minute, what does it mean to bless something? Right? It often means to make something holy or to praise or honor something, that it's special or holy. We often bless our food, right? You can also do a blessing to ask for care or protection of something. Perhaps you ask from God or a higher power. We often say, bless you when someone sneezes, right? Which is shortened from God bless you, to offer protection, maybe to the person who is sneezing or the one receiving the sneeze. God bless you. We bless new children and babies when we welcome them into our community. Who can do a blessing? Anyone can do a blessing. It doesn't have to be a minister. It doesn't have to be the person standing up here. And we can do blessings anytime. We can do them whenever we need to. Often, though, they're at special moments, like today, when we want to bless our flowers. They could be at important moments in a life cycle. So, everyone can help with the blessing this morning. And if any of the younger folks would like to come up around the table, and Stella can help with this too, you can hold your hands out like this or like this, and everyone else here and online, you're welcome to do the gesture if you would like. You can gather around and hold your hands out while we do the blessing. If you're at home, you might have your flower nearby. You can do the same thing with us, okay? Is everyone ready? Anyone who wants to? Okay. These are Reverend Chapek's words. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. Amen. Thank you, blessing givers. You can all have your seats. And at the end of the service, everyone here will get a chance to take a flower home with you. They're going to be moved to the back at the tables right outside the door, so I invite you to take a bloom when you go home. Okay.
And until then, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit, turning again in our gray hymnal, this time to number 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple," in the gray hymnal number 1-6, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple."
I'm all pulled back together here, so thank you, Stella. Have you ever felt you found yourself in the place just right, and it turned out to be a valley of love and delight? That you landed somewhere where you felt you belonged? I've been thinking about that sense of belonging, what that feels like, when it happens, and what makes it happen. I remember when I found myself in this place and how immediately it felt just right. And that was 15 years ago. And eventually it became, and still is, a place of love and delight for me. How did that happen? What or who made me feel like I belonged here? What is it that made that happen for the new members that we welcomed and recognized just last week? And think of your own experiences here or at a new job or when you joined a group or a team. How did you know if you were in the place just right? How did you know if you belonged? There's power to being in and belonging to a community. Lauren Jackson recently published an essay in the New York Times about believing. In this essay, she explained that religion offers people 3 B's: beliefs about the world, behaviors to follow, and belonging in a community or a culture. She reported getting a lot of feedback about her essay, mostly around the idea of belonging. And that's not surprising. She referenced a major global study that had recently been released by Harvard and Baylor universities that affirmed what so much other data has shown. People flourish. They live happier, healthier, and better lives if they have strong social connections. The study also found that religions, for all their reputational baggage, can provide people with robust communities. We are a religious community, even if you aren't keen on the word religious. We are bound together by our commitment to UU values and to the idea of covenant. We are a community, and a pretty robust one, I'd say. We are a place where people can and do flourish. And this is so deeply tied to one of our priority vision areas of radical welcome. Now, I know that I flourished after I found this community, but it has made me think more deeply about, first, whether we really are a place where people can flourish, and if we are that place, how does that happen? So let's look at these bouquets for a moment. They are beautiful and diverse, and in some ways, not at all surprising. There are blossoms from your gardens, from your yard, from the church property, maybe from the store. And now we're adding something unlike anything that was already in these bouquets. So maybe now the bouquet looks different. It looks scary or thorny or weedy or not so pretty or not so colorful. And yet, what we just added came right from the land around the church, just like all the other blooms in the vases that the kids brought up a little bit earlier. They are dried plants. Yes, a couple are a little bit thorny. They're not alive. And yet I find them very beautiful. Can we, as a congregation, see that beauty in the other? Is there room for these others here? Can we actively care for this garden of Unitarian Universalism and make it a place of refuge for those who can't find it anywhere else? Margaret Renkel, a favorite author of mine, in an essay she wrote recently, quoted a conservation biologist as saying, "In an era of climate change, with extreme weather putting huge stress on natural habitats, the patches of ground that we tend around our houses can turn into places of refuge. She continues, when we cherish and tend what we have the power to tend, we make a place where vulnerable creatures at least have a chance. Hear that message and take it to heart. In these times, we may feel like we have no power to protect or save that which is sacred to us. Every day, multiple times a day, the administration declares some new attack on the vulnerable. So let me repeat Renkel's words. When we cherish and tend what we have the power to tend, we make a place where vulnerable creatures at least have a chance. We have to do the best we can to make our garden grow. Many small efforts add to the collective greater effort. Don't give up hope. Hold these bouquets in mind as inspiration, as a reminder of who we are, of our collective diversity and beauty, and our commitment to making this place truly a place of belonging for all. Thank you. Now, I'll need some help again from the young ones who helped us with the vases before, and maybe a few others. If you want to come to the front, and Dusty and Stella will give you a vase of flowers to bring to the back of the sanctuary, and you're all going to walk out together, but here's the cue. You have to wait until you hear me say, "Go now in peace." Okay? And then you're going to follow Stella out, and you'll put the vases on the table out in the back. And then everyone else, when you come out, you get to take a flower. Okay, so y'all, what's your cue? Okay, flower carriers. Do you remember your cue? Yes, okay. We will find out. We will find out. Okay, it's going to be at the very end of this part of the service, which we call the benediction. And guess what? The benediction is a kind of blessing. Only instead of blessing the flowers, I'm going to bless everyone here and online. Okay, we're ready? Beloveds, Reverend Chapek's words from a century ago remain relevant. May we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do the work in this world. Let us consider who and what we include in our bouquets and work towards making them as diverse and beautiful as possible, even if in unexpected ways. May this congregation be a place of belonging. May the flower you bring home remind you that you are part of a community of those who wish you well. Go now in peace. Dear friends, amen, and may it be so.